Have you ever found yourself captivated by a friend's anecdote or a colleague's presentation? That's the magic of storytelling. In this lesson, we're diving into how you can weave that magic into your own conversations and leave your audience wanting more. If you're ready, let's get into it. We're not talking about reciting fairy tales here. Conversational storytelling isn't about spinning fictional yarns or reciting memorized stories. Instead, it's about using real-life narratives that your audience can relate to and connect with. These stories should be relevant to the conversation and help illustrate the points that you're trying to make. When you share a relatable story, it makes your message more memorable, engaging, and impactful. Here's why this approach is so effective. Memorable. Stories are easier to remember than abstract concepts or data points. Engaging. Stories capture attention and spark interest. Impactful. Stories evoke emotions and create a deeper connection with your audience and the people that you're talking to, making your message more persuasive. Here's an example of how conversational storytelling can be used to make a point more memorable. So imagine you're trying to convince your team to adapt a new project management software. Instead of simply listing the software's features and benefits, you could share a story about a time when you struggled with a similar project in the past. You might describe the chaos of juggling multiple spreadsheets, the frustration of missed deadlines, and the stress of miscommunication. And then you could go on to explain how you discovered the new software and how it transformed your workflow. You could even share specific examples of how it helped you stay organized, meet deadlines, and collaborate more effectively. By telling this story to your team, you're not just providing information. You're creating an emotional connection with your team. They can relate to the challenges that you faced, and they can see how the new software could benefit them personally. This makes your message much more memorable and persuasive than a dry presentation of facts and figures and numbers. Why does storytelling matter in conversations? Stories create a connection. They tap into emotions, making your message resonate deeper than just facts and figures. Plus, they're much easier to recall, which means your audience is more likely to remember what you shared. Let's get practical. Strategies for effective storytelling. The hook. Imagine you're reeling in a fish. Your opening line should be just as enticing. Start with a question, a surprising statement, or a personal anecdote. Think of it as a teaser trailer for your story. Example. You won't believe what happened on my commute this morning. The narrative arc. Every good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Keep it concise and focused. Think of your story as a bridge between your point and your audience's understanding. For example, start with the problem, build up the tension, and then you share how you resolved it. Sensory details. Bring your story to life with the details that tickle the senses. Describe the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes, and textures. This helps your audience immerse themselves in your narrative. For example, the cafe was filled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the sound of clinking cups. Relatable characters. People connect with people, right? So make your story relatable by focusing on the human element. Share emotions, motivations, and conflicts that your audience can identify with. For example, I was so nervous about the presentation, my hands were shaking. The takeaway, don't leave your audience hanging. Nobody likes that. What's the moral of the story? What lesson did you learn? What do you want your audience to walk away with? What is the golden nugget that they should think about? For example, that experience taught me the importance of preparation. Now, if you were to ask me, well, MD, what is the most important element of a conversational story? What I would say to that is, while all the elements listed are important, the human truth is People connect with people. And so the relatable characters element is crucial. Focusing on the human element and sharing emotions, motivations, feelings, and conflicts that resonate with the audience is key to making a story truly impactful in a conversational setting. Here's why this makes sense. Number one, building rapport. When listeners identify with the characters in your story, they feel a sense of connection and understanding. This helps build rapport and makes them more receptive to your message. Two, evoking empathy. By sharing emotions and conflicts, you tap into your audience's empathy. This creates a stronger emotional impact and makes your story more memorable. Three, enhancing persuasion. So when people feel emotionally invested in your story, they're more likely to be persuaded by your viewpoint or your call to action. Putting it into practice. How to hone your storytelling skills. Practice makes progress, and progress makes us happy. So start with small stories in casual conversations, low stakes social situations. Notice how people react, and then adjust your approach and your communication style accordingly. Observe others. Pay attention to how skilled storytellers captivate their audience. What techniques do they use? How do they structure their narratives? Seek feedback. Ask friends, family members, or colleagues to give you constructive criticism on your storytelling. What worked well? What could be improved? Expand your repertoire. Collect stories from books, movies, podcasts, and real-life experiences. The more stories you know, the easier it will be to find the right one for any conversation. Join a community of practice. Sometimes the best way to improve is to learn from others. Consider joining a community of practice like Explearning Academy, where you can receive feedback, coaching, and support from experienced communicators, not to mention the whole network of learners in our academy as well. Remember, storytelling is a skill that takes time and practice to master. Don't get discouraged if your first few attempts aren't perfect. Just keep practicing, keep experimenting, and keep telling stories, because the more you do, the better you will become at it. And most importantly, have fun with it. If you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, I invite you to explore Explearning Academy, where we offer a variety of programs designed to help you master conversational storytelling, executive presence, and social fluency. Whether you prefer self-study or live coaching and feedback sessions, we have a program that's right for you. Just check out academy.explearning.co to learn more. Remember, the best storytellers are the ones who are constantly learning and growing. So keep practicing, keep exploring, keep explearning, and share your stories with the world. Your audience is waiting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss an update. For more strategies and tips, you can also follow our podcast and sign up for our newsletter at www.explearning.co to get the latest and greatest delivered straight to your inbox. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Happy exploring, everyone.